Let me just add in one other place here. School is cool. But what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Call, great. Call. Click here to start recording. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. All right, great. We are recording everywhere we need to be, but what we are talking about today is how to monetize your content. I am a firm believer, and I actually don't like that I'm kind of off track here, but I'm a firm believer. We're going to do a few things today. We're going to talk about how you can monetize your content, and it doesn't require the YouTube Partner Program, the TikTok Shop, the TikTok Creativity Fund. It doesn't require any of that stuff. And you could start it literally today. So if you are just joining, comment what your niche is, what you create content about, what you want to be known for, and I'll give you some ideas. But I am a firm believer that you should be monetizing your content without relying on those other platforms, because those platforms, those other ways can be taken from you at any point, right? I don't know, you may or may not have heard horror stories where people were monetized and they were feeling good, and then they realized that they were going to get paid literal pennies, or they were monetized and then they were demonetized, or they were monetized and something happened. They stopped getting views, right? How many times have you heard or seen that horror story? What we want to do, what I want to do, what I want to help you do is learn how to monetize so that you don't even have to worry about the TikTok Shop. You don't have to worry about the TikTok Creativity Fund or the YouTube Partner Program or any of those other things that are out there. And it's a real simple step. It's a really simple process, believe it or not. A lot of people will overcomplicate this, but it's really simple. You could start this for free. You could start this today, right? So the first thing you want to do is have a niche, right? A lot of people, and I'm going to make videos here too. A lot of people believe that you don't need a niche, or that you are your niche, which is dumb, right? There's a number of reasons why you need and should have a niche. First and foremost, you don't want people to tell you what you should be known for, right? You don't want people to dictate to you what you should create content about, because what usually happens is that you don't have a niche. You just want to create content about all sorts of stuff, and you might accidentally go viral for something. And you might go viral for something that you didn't intend to go viral on, or that you don't want to talk about again and again and again. And then what winds up happening is you're now pigeonholed into that thing. And the other issue too is when you create content about basketball and then you create content about basket weaving. Now, obviously, those are two extremes. The algorithms don't know who to send your content to. Okay? The algorithm gets confused. The algorithm gets frustrated. And if it doesn't know where to send your content, it's not going to send it anywhere. So you might be making the best videos, but if you're creating content about anything and everything, the algorithms don't know what to do with you. The other issue too that you'll run into is, let's say you're creating content about basketball. You start building a little bit of a following with basketball. Then you decide, you know what? I'm going to start creating content about basket weaving. The people that started following you for basketball aren't interested in your basket weaving content, and so they're not going to engage with your content, and that sends a negative signal to the algorithm. So you want to clearly define who you are, what you do, and how you help people, what you want to be known for, so that there's no confusion, there's no mistake. When they see your content on the internet, they say, okay, this is exactly, I know exactly who this is, and I know how he or she or they can help me. You need to define it, okay? And I'm going to make a video about this later on, but Gary Vee is out here giving terrible advice. And you can quote me on this if you want. Gary Vee is giving out the worst advice to people. I watched a video where some guy, I don't know if he was old or young, the guy asked Gary Vee, I don't know what I should create content on. I don't know what my niche is. Gary Vee says, you are your niche. And then he says, look at me. He says, I create content about all sorts of stuff, about the Jets, about content creation, about blah, 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 blah. Here's the problem, Gary Vee. Here's the problem with that. The problem with you telling people I think Gary Vee is kind of out of touch. But the problem with Gary Vee telling people that they can just create content about anything, look at me, is that Gary Vee has earned literally millions of followers. And Gary Vee has the social cachet that most people don't have. Gary Vee has been on ESPN. I've seen him on MSNBC. He has literally millions of followers across multiple platforms. And so he has earned the right to create content about whatever it is he wants to create content on. Gary Vee is a brand. Some random person that is just getting started creating content doesn't have that social cachet, is not a brand yet. And so they can't afford to just make content about whatever they want to. What they should be doing and what you should be doing is you should be creating content to solve problems. Identify the problems that people are going through, the pain points that they're experiencing, and then create content there. When you create content, and this is for educational content, this isn't for entertainment. When you create content solving problems, people will start to know, like, and trust you, and then you can build up that social currency where eventually you can start talking about whatever you want. What you should be doing instead is you should be creating content to solve a problem, to help people, but you should use your stories, your personal stories, to help build that connection. That's what Gary Vee gets wrong. He thinks that he can just talk about his life, or anybody can just talk about their life and have the same mileage as Gary Vee. What we should be doing is identify an area of people that we want to help, and then use our knowledge, skills, experience, and our stories to make the connection. I'll give you a few examples. I primarily talk to people and teach people how to monetize, right? What stories can I lean on? Well, I have twins. We had 3 kids under 3. One of the biggest problems that people run into is they claim that they don't have time to start their business. So I can tell a story about how I felt like I had no time to start my business. I was working full time as a software developer. We had 3 kids under 3, and my wife was working full time. She was an essential worker. So I was literally in the house 23 hours a day, 7 days a week, with kids in, with me being like daddy daycare and trying to start an online business. I tell my story to build that connection. I don't just talk about me going to Target, because nobody cares about you going to Target. Everybody goes to Target. So when you're just getting started, and again, this is what Gary Vee is getting wrong. He's telling people, he's leading people astray. Nobody cares that you went to Target. Your life is not interesting enough yet for people to be excited that you're going to Target or that you went to Target. However, what you could do, let's say you are in the parenting niche, right? Let's say you are in the parenting niche and you went to Target. What you could do is you could tell a story about how, I'll give you a perfect example. My son was SpongeBob for Halloween. I could say, hey, come with me to Target as I put together a brand new Halloween costume for my son in under 2 hours. That's a story that people are interested in. I'm a parent, I'm solving problems for other parents. Don't just get on the internet and start talking about random stuff, because nobody cares. And this always sounds bad, but nobody cares about you. They care about the problems you can solve for them. And once you can solve that problem, and again, I'm talking about educational based content. When you solve problems for other people, that's when they'll start to care. So whenever you hear Gary Vee say to people that you can just talk about yourself, you're your own niche, that's false. That's wrong. You do that, you're not going to get any views, you're not going to get any followers, and you're going to be annoyed. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be tired. You're going to feel like you're running into a brick wall. Identify an area of people that you want to help. This could be people that, like hobbyists. So let's say your hobby, most recently, the NFL was on Sunday and Monday. You can create content helping people understand football or basketball or baseball, whatever it is. Create content to solve problems for other people. And then eventually, when you do that consistently enough, you'll start to build a following, and then you can kind of weave in some of those other things. Because when you grow large enough, people will follow you just for you, right? You see a lot of creators on social media who have millions of followers. About 10% of those people follow that creator just because it's that creator. So to start, identify area of people that you want to help, and then niche down. Okay. I'll give you a perfect example of what not to do. A lot of people will say, I want to help people lose weight. That doesn't mean anything, right? Monetize content tips, share your experience. Well, I don't know what that is. I want to help people lose weight. That doesn't mean anything, because that doesn't mean anything for a few reasons. One, how are you going to help them lose weight? Because there are a bunch of different ways that you can help people lose weight. You can help them lose weight by jump roping, by walking, by lifting weights, by running a marathon or running a 5K. You need to identify a specific group of people. You help people lose weight by learning how to jump rope. Okay, that's great. Hey, thanks for the follow. You help people lose weight by jump roping. That's still too general. In my opinion, you should want to target a very narrow group of people, because when you target a very narrow group of people, it shows that you understand their pain points and their frustrations. It shows that you understand what is preventing them what is preventing them from getting where they want to go. So you help men in their 40s lose weight by jump roping. Good morning. That is specific. That's not to say that you won't have women that follow you. That's not to say you won't have men that are 25 follow you. But if you're talking to a specific group of people, I help men in their 40s lose weight by jump roping. That shows that you have a higher level of knowledge and understanding than just some generalist. A really good example of this is your doctor. There are general doctors, and then there's the brain doctor. You probably don't want to go to the general doctor when you have brain issues, but you trust the brain doctor because he's studied the brain. You have a higher level of trust in the brain doctor, I should say. But that's how it should be, right? And so one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they don't know how to niche down, or they don't niche down far enough. And I'll give you another example. I'll give you a perfect example. Thanks for the likes and the roses. Here's a really good example. So everyone knows sports, right? We've got, some people will say, I want to be a sports commentator or a sports podcaster. No, you don't want to be a sports podcaster. You want to identify a sport. We've got football, basketball, baseball, NASCAR, tennis, pickleball, paddleball, badminton. Did I say volleyball? We got a million sports, right? Pick one of those sports. And then you think, hey, I'm done. No, you're not done yet. Inside of basketball, we've got high school basketball, we've got college basketball, we've got AAU, we've got the NBA, we've got the Euro League, we've got, the African League, we've got the Russian League, we've got a million different places that you can go. Okay, great. I'm going to be a podcaster for the NBA. Close, but you're not there yet. You want to pick a team. And I'll give you a good example. Stephen A. Smith. Everybody hates him. I can't stand him. But Stephen A. Smith didn't start off talking, or even, what was the other guy? Skip Bayless. They didn't start off talking about the NBA. They started off as a beat reporter talking about a specific team. And then over time, as they grew in popularity and they developed their skills, they started talking about more and more, right? So think about Stephen A. Start off talking about the Knicks. He might have went to college. I don't remember where he went to college, but he went to college. He started talking. He was a beat reporter. He focused on one team. He focused on maybe even one player, and he got really good at that. Then over time, as he built a following, as he just developed his skills, now he's on every single ESPN television show, right? He's talking about the NFL, and then he's talking about LeBron James, and then he's talking about NBA. There's no way that he has the skill and ability to understand all of these different topics, but people will know, like, and trust you if you start off small and specific. Now, you might think, hey, and this is a really good example. You might think, hey, if I start off talking about the Chicago Bulls, that's too narrow. Ask yourself, how many Chicago Bull fans are out there? Probably millions, right? In addition, there are going to be other people that stumble across your content and they might hate the Chicago Bulls. Or you tell a story where you're connecting the Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers and you build a following that way. Just because you start talking about the specific Chicago Bulls doesn't mean that you're limited to 3 million people. And in reality, 3 million people is more than enough people to have a very successful online business. So, first thing I want you to do is pick an audience, pick a group of people that you want to help, and niche all the way down. Um, so, the first example that I gave you was I help men between the ages of 35 and 45 lose weight by jump roping. That's example number one. Or I help people learn behind the scenes of the uh, uh, NBA, the New York Knicks. Thank you. Take it easy. Just enjoy joy. Just enjoy joy. Um, so that's step number one. Step number two is to identify the problems that your target audience is going through. So if we're looking at, I help men in their 40s lose weight by jump roping, what issues are they running into? They are potentially running into an issue of time. How are they going to fit? Thanks for the hat and the mustache. How are they going to fit in their fitness routine in their schedule? Because they probably work full time. They might have kids. They might have a family, right? Um, they might have an issue of mindset and confidence. They tried to lose weight before and all of these other things, and nothing worked. And you see, and this is why it's so important to have a specific group of people that you're targeting, because the problems and frustrations of a 40-year-old man are going to be different than the problems and frustrations of a 25-year-old woman. It's just it's the fact of the matter. A 40-year-old man might have been in his career for, I don't know, 20 years. He might be in a management position. He might be required to work 60 hours where he's sitting at a desk. And, after that, he has to coach his kids' sports, or he has to worry about paying for college. Most likely, a 25-year-old woman isn't going to have to worry about funding their kids' college. Maybe that'll be something they have to worry about 20 years from now, but that's not something usually that they have to worry about immediately, right? So that's why you want to be specific. It's not to say that the 25-year-old woman won't follow you for your information, but you want to show that you have a specialization and not just generalization. Anyway, what you want to do is you want to identify your target audience's pain points, goals, dreams, desires, and things that they're thinking but afraid to say out loud. For our 40-year-old men, they might be afraid. One of the reasons why they want to lose weight is so that they can walk their daughter down the aisle, or that they can drop their kids off at at college as a freshman in 10 years. And they might be afraid to say, I might not make it if I don't change something today. Okay. That's why it's really, really, really important to get specific on who you want to help. Their goal might be to be able to go on a walk without being winded. Right. So goals, dreams, desires, things that they're thinking but afraid to say out loud. Right. The next thing that you want to do, and I need to, excuse me. The next thing you want to do is you want to identify something that I think Russell Brunson calls a value ladder. You want to identify how you can help them in a way that they're going to pay you. Okay. If comment down below what it is that you create content about, and I'll give you better ideas. But right now we're just going with the we help men in their, why isn't this working? We help men in their 40s lose weight by jump roping. So what we want to do, and what I teach my clients to do, is the first thing that we want to do is, what is this now? The first thing that we want to do is we want to create something that can help them achieve a result quickly. Something that is a DIY thing, right? They can wake up, monetization content tips, ask questions. Um, Something that they can try on their own. That's going to be the entry level. That's going to be our introduction to them, right? So we give them content for free. We give it through YouTube and TikTok and just social media in general. There's going to be a segment of those people, not everyone, obviously. A segment of those people are going to want to try more help, exclusive help. And they're going to come to you as the expert, and you're going to sell them a tiny digital product. The product is going to be somewhere between $7 and we'll say $27, maybe $47. The digital product that you're going to create for them is going to be a product that they can try on their own. It might be a 30-day planner where you tell them what to do. You tell them what to do every single day for 30 days. So on day one, you jump rope for 3 minutes. On day two, you jump rope for 5 minutes and you walk a mile. So you kind of lay out a step-by-step guide or roadmap for them to lose weight. So you might frame it as, I'm going to help you lose 10 pounds in 30 days. 10 pounds might be a lot. I'm going to help you lose 5 pounds in 30 days with my step-by-step planner. Okay, you want to help them achieve a specific result. We do not want to be general. And this is a DIY product that they can buy and try on their own. That's the first step. What's really cool about it is that you're going to create content for this group of people. You're going to put a link to your sales page that goes to this fitness planner, jump rope planner, we'll call it, so that these guys can try it on their own. The next thing that you will potentially want to create is maybe a course. So the next step you want to create is a done with you type of system where you are helping them a little bit more intimately, a little bit more closer. And this can be done, like I said, with a mini course, maybe like a 1-hour course. And in this 1-hour course, you give them tips on how to lose weight faster or easier, or maybe you teach them a jump roping technique, and then you maybe bundle in a couple other things. Great, some people are going to buy that. The next thing you could create is you could create an online community where you are offering help on a monthly basis and they pay you every single month. So you could build out a little membership community where you start generating reoccurring income, helping people lose weight by jump roping. Every single month, you may offer something different, maybe like a workshop where you're offering cooking tips, how to cook, how to cook so that you're not consuming as many calories. Maybe the next month after that, you teach them a faster way to lose weight, a different jump roping technique. Still, some people are going to want even more assistance. You can do like one-on-one, or you can do a mastermind, depending on where's that? Depending on what you want to do. Maybe you offer to fly out and work with somebody for 5 days or 3 days and give them all of the nutritional tips and routines required for them to start losing weight with jump roping. And then in addition to jump roping, you help them shop for their groceries for the next week. You tell them what they should and shouldn't buy. And that's how you create an entire online business, all with being specific and solving a specific problem. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, right? But the key to all of this is identifying the exact type of person. I help blank do blank so they can blank. I help men in their 40s lose weight with jump roping so they can walk their daughter down the aisle, so that they don't struggle walking up a flight of stairs, so they can be at graduation, right? That's it. And like I said, you can do this all for free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do this for free, and you can actually do this all in a weekend, which is really cool. If you're going to do this for free, you can create a sales page with Gumroad, Gumroad. I might have messed up here. Let's click generate. You can create a sales page. The sales page is how you're actually going to sell your digital product. The sales page is going to talk about the problems that the audience is currently going through and how your thing is going to be the solution. Now, what's really important to understand is most likely the person that you're going to help, one, two, okay, they've tried other things before. And you've got to let them know, hey, look, you've probably tried something before. This is why this thing is different. This is how our thing is different and how we plan to help you achieve your goals. That's all a sales page is. You can create a sales page for free using a website called Gumroad, Gumroad. You can create your digital product in a couple ways. If you're creating like a planner, like a workout planner, you could use Google Docs and save it as a PDF. You can use Canva and download it and save it as a PDF. If you're going to do a mini course, you can start with your phone. Or you can even use Canva to create videos now. There's a million ways to do it. You could use PowerPoint to create slides. There's a million ways to do it. And you might be wondering, do I have to show my face? You don't have to show your face to do this stuff. I recommend that you do show your face, but you don't necessarily have to show your face because, and can you use AI? You can use AI. Again, I don't recommend it because people want to buy from other people. People feel more comfortable and people will trust you quicker if you show up on camera, you show your face. People like, I like to give the example of when you think of insurance companies, you think of Flow from, I think, Progressive, you think of Geico. Those are the faces of the company. Flow from Progressive is the face of the company. And so when you think about Progressive, you think about Flow, and it makes you feel a better connection, even if it is an insurance company that generates billions of dollars. If you don't want to show your face, you should probably use an avatar, use the exact same avatar every single time so people have something to identify with. Like if you do faceless, the problem that you run into is trying to differentiate yourself from everybody else. The only way to be really successful on the internet is to have some way to differentiate and stand out in the crowd. If you are faceless, and even think about TV shows. Every TV show out there has a consistent cast of characters. It doesn't rotate every 3 days, like unless you're Saturday Night Live, but then Saturday Night Live is the face, right? If you're going to do it faceless, you should at least have an avatar, the same avatar that shows up every single video, or else I think you're going to struggle to get consistent sales. One question that I get pretty frequently is like, how quickly will you start seeing results? And anyone that puts a timetable on it is lying to you. Nobody knows how long it's going to take you to be successful. Simply put, I don't know where your skill level is, right? You could be at level 0 where you have no skills, you've got no work ethic. It's going to clearly take you a lot longer than someone that has all the skills or one skill, but a lot of work ethic, a ton of work ethic. Because the most important thing that you can have when trying to start an online business is the work ethic, the consistency and persistence. Everything else can be learned or delegated. But if you don't have the consistency, the persistence, the work ethic, you're going to struggle, right? Most people are successful in their job because there's somebody standing behind them telling them, or they're afraid that they're going to have a weekly meeting with their boss, and their boss tells them that they're not doing a good job. However, when there isn't anybody standing directly behind you, for some people, they come up with excuses to not do something. They become too busy. They become whatever, too tired, right? The hardest part, and I try and say this as much as possible, the hardest part about being successful on the internet is between your ears, is your brain. You have to fight with yourself until you're successful. You've got to fight with yourself because everything that you're doing is going against what you've been taught to do. You've been taught that the only way that you can make money is by getting paid by a boss or a manager. The only way that you can get paid is through checks from a corporation or a company. That the only thing that, like, you've been told that you can't make money off the internet, or that you can't make money from content, from your own content. In fact, that's a big reason why a lot of people will say they're not trying to make money from it, but in reality, the only reason why you create content is to make money. Some people will say, I'm just creating content for funsies. Okay, then don't put it on the internet. Don't put it on TikTok. Send it directly to your friends, right? That's a misconception. It's a little buffer that people create for themselves so that they can't fail. Anyway, how long will it take you to be successful? I don't know. It could be 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. How quickly are you? How quickly can you learn and develop skills and build skills and break old habits and get out of your own head and get out of your own way? How quickly can you do those things? If you can do them quickly, if you can get out of your own way and your own head quickly, you can be successful quickly. However, if you spend more time fighting with yourself, saying this won't work or this can't work, you're going to struggle for a long time, right? Everything is difficult until you do it. Making money online is difficult. It's hard until you've done it before. Making your first $100 feels impossible until you actually do it. But once you actually do it, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. Then you just got to figure out the process to do it again and again and again. That's the key. That is the key. Any questions out there? Now, what I might do now is I might make some videos so that you can see the process of making videos. But yeah. Anyway, creating content, monetizing your content is something anybody can do. It's something everybody should do. And, even if you're an entertainment content creator, there's still a number of ways that you can monetize your content that you should consider. One are memberships. You should offer exclusive access to you, maybe exclusive skits or exclusive like Q&As. What you can even do is you can teach people how you got to where you are. That's always a big one, because a lot of people will see, like Mr. Beast, for example. He's in the entertainment space. He's the biggest entertainer on YouTube. I don't know if he's the biggest. He's one of the biggest. But a lot of people are going to ask, what did you do to get there? And you simply can teach people what you know. Teach people the ins and outs and the tricks that you learned and how you learned it, and people will pay you for it. Other things that you can do is you can share your what you do at work all day, the skills that you've learned at work. For example, if you're a nurse, you can share what you've learned with being a nurse. There's a lot of stuff that they don't teach you at nursing school that you can teach people. You can also teach people about the best shoes for nurses, because they walk on cement floors all day, right? And they've got to lift 400-pound, 500-pound, 600-pound men and women that don't offer any assistance. And so, let me see here. And so, because of that, they've got to develop skills. They've got to develop communication skills. They've got to develop interpersonal skills, how to talk to doctors that think that they're the God's gift to the world, right? Comment down below what you do at work, your job title, not where you work. Comment your job title. I'll give you some examples. You can monetize what you do at work, because there's somebody right now that wants to work in a job similar to yours. Any skills that you've attained. If you know how to use Canva, you can package that up and sell it. You can start off by selling Canva templates. That's always a good place to start. Canva templates. You can create a course or membership. You could even do a service where you create Canva templates for other people and sell them. So somebody will come to you and say, hey, look, I want a Canva Instagram template. Can you make it for me? And you'd be like, yep, I'll make it for you. And you charge them money for it. You created a service based on the skills that you have. There's enough people out there that want to use it but don't know how. And you've got to remember that people will pay you if you can save them time, save them money, or help them avoid frustration. There are people out there that want to use Canva but don't have the time to learn it. Or they've tried using Canva and it's frustrated them to no end. So those people are going to pay you to solve their problem. That's one less thing they have to worry about. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say like weddings. Weddings are huge, right? There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to weddings. Weddings are incredibly stressful and frustrating, especially if you've never done it before. But you can create something. You could be, if you could actually be like a wedding planner if you wanted to through your content, but you could actually sell wedding planners, wedding save the date templates. You can sell table number templates. You can sell different aspects, smaller parts, components to a wedding and make money. Or you can bundle them all up and sell them all at one time. You could sell like wedding budget calculators, right? Because people want to have a wedding. They want to have the wedding of their dreams, but they don't have an unlimited budget. You could sell, let's see, what are we talking about? We're talking about weddings. What else could you do for weddings? If someone's having a destination wedding, you could sell a destination wedding planner. Help people understand everything that goes into destination weddings. What else is out there for weddings? What are the components? Help people understand the catering and all of the tiny aspects that go into a big event like weddings. Take that off their plate. Take that frustration off their plate, and they'll pay you for it. What other niches out there? Travel's a big niche, but traveling, especially now, traveling is a frustrating experience. It's a stressful experience. But what you can do is you can create something that you sell to people that are interested in traveling that help alleviate them, remove their frustration. I'll give you a perfect example. About a year and a half ago, we went down to Disney in Florida, right? We went down, we went down for like 5 days. 5 days, I think 4 nights. It was me, my wife, and 3 kids. We went down to Disney, but we didn't know, the best places to eat. We didn't know other things to do. We drove down to Clearwater, Florida. We stayed in Brandon. We drove down to Clearwater, Florida. What you could do if you're in the travel niche is you could put together what just beeped. You could put together a little travel itinerary for families that go down to Disney. Unable to, what the heck? I've never seen that error before. You could put together a travel itinerary. Hey, how's it going? You could put together a little travel itinerary. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, I just keep pressing it. Travel itinerary where you help parents find things to do while they're down in Disney so that, the kids aren't bored.
Hey, Coach,
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
great. How
I
are you?
can't complain. How are things in Minnesota?
They're cooling off.
Yeah.
So the leaves and all the cold weather, it's coming down.
Same here. Same here. It's actually pretty warm today. It's like 60.
Oh, yeah, Kenosha, right? Or somewhere nearby?
Yep, I am in Kenosha.
Yeah, we were just in Racine doing some salmon fishing last weekend.
Oh, you should have sent me a message. I would have came up. It's only like 10 minutes away.
I know. I always forget. But you know what? I've been meaning to reach out to you fishing and I saw you, so I was like, oh, cool, he's online. I can just pick his brain now.
Sure. Yeah. What questions you got for me?
Well, I have this idea, and you know what, I'm going to listen to whatever insights you have across the board, but it still has not been a good year as far as launching the digital products.
Yep.
So I completed a guided journal.
Okay.
I think it's a great product, but I haven't been very focused on moving it off my desktop. And honestly, I just need the rudimentary steps in terms of what do you do first and what do you do second once you have a digital product that you think is a good idea. And after listening to you, I think I've got the right niche and I got the right content. It's all there. It's just now what?
Well, are you creating content?
Yes.
Okay. How many videos are you creating a day? And are you creating short form or long form?
Oh, I'm sorry. Videos in terms of on TikTok?
Yeah. Well, how I should ask you, let me back up. How are you attracting your audience?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Since we talked last fall, to
Yep.
be totally honest, I have not been on my entrepreneurship
Okay.
game.
Okay.
So I feel like I gotta pick it up. It's there, but I just have to pick it up.
Okay. So, first thing I would do is make a list. First of all, who's your audience? Who are you talking to, and what problems do you help them solve?
So these are women who have been in difficult relationships. So they've been through some sort of hardship in a relationship, and now they're kind of finding themselves again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like an answer to women who have been emotionally abused or women that just have been kind of undermined or whatever. That seemed to be the women that I attracted on TikTok. And then I would make a couple videos and I was like, oh, okay, well, they seem to relate to what I'm saying in this area. Like women in recovery almost.
Okay. This is what I want you to do. First thing, I want you to talk to a specific group of people. So you mentioned like people that, maybe they've been emotionally abused and something else. I want you to pick one group of people and say, this is who I'm going to talk to. And the reason is you can talk clearly to their pain points. Now, it's not to say that you won't get those other type of women. Like, for example, let's say you're like, I help women who have been physically abused. That's different than women that have been emotionally abused. There's a little bit of a difference there. But we want...
It's like narc support, not narc support, but narc survivor.
Okay.
These women have survived or they're coming out of narcissism abuse.
Okay. Good. Okay, that's better. Because we want to talk directly to their pain points, talk directly about their goals, and use stories to connect. So, let's say, for example, one thing that you can do is you can simply call that out. Hey, did you just get out of a I can't even say. Did you just get out of an abusive relationship, narcissistic relationship? Here are three signs that you are in or have been in that type of relationship, and then call out those 3 signs. So remember, we want to do hook, story, and offer. Hook is we want to reel in our target audience and push away everyone else. For example, hey, you just went salmon fishing. You know that there are different types of bait for different types of fish, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we are using the right bait to attract our audience, and we want to make sure that we aren't trying to catch sharks with goldfish bait.
Oh, that's good.
And vice versa. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come up with hooks. And the hooks can be questions, they can be if-then statements, they can be statistics, they can be emotional appeals. You can even say, hey, one of the things that I had to learn when I got out of an abusive relationship was this.
Oh, that's good.
I really like if-then statements because they're really simple to put together. If you just exited an abusive relationship, then do this. Or if then else is a really good one I like too. If this, then do that, or else this is going to happen. If you don't do these 3 things, then you're going to find yourself right back in that same relationship, that same cycle.
Yeah, because what I was thinking about as I was putting this content together was the pain point that I could personally relate to. I think before the niche I was trying was one I was interested in, but not emotionally experienced in.
Okay. Yeah, you were wanting to help women start businesses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still on that same vein, but it definitely has evolved.
The other thing I think we talked about a long time ago was people might not even know that they're one thing that you can talk about is making people aware that they're in an abusive relationship. They might think that the relationships that they're going to, because they've gone through the same relationships over and over again, they might think that's normal. But you've got to let them know that, hey, what you're in isn't normal. If you are constantly doing this in your relationships, past and present, then you are in a abusive relationship. You need to leave now, or else this could happen. Here are 5 signs that you are actually in an abusive relationship and you don't even know it. Hey, relax.
That's actually valid. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So one of the things.
I have a quick question though.
Mm-hmm.
How do I pivot from TikTok has been I've been pretty consistent. I do not post every day, but when I do post, I'm getting great interaction, great comments. They're vibing with what I'm saying, which is cool to see, right? But how do I pivot? Because now that the holidays are here, I've got a business focus with the group that seems to be vibing with me, in the way of guided journals. Obviously, I want to offer coaches courses and a couple other digital things, right? But I think I'm kind of scared to just go from the content that I was doing, which is more faith-based. I understand you, God's going to help you, to, hey, by the way, if you are in an abusive relationship, or, I'm struggling to pivot. I almost feel a little bit like a fraud. I think that's why I haven't done it.
Why? What's preventing you from combining the two? So, combine faith with helping women leave or escape those relationships, or recognizing that they're in that type of relationship, narcissistic relationship. Or use.
That could be today's video, because I hadn't really thought of it. I haven't thought about combining it. You make it sound very simple.
No, it's just from a lot of failures. Failing a lot.
I mentioned this to you last year, and I saw your program that you had week before last.
Okay.
I'm listening all the time. I'm interacting with your videos. But I think there's. I don't think it's. I think there's something blocking me from making that leap to being monetizing it, and this is the most frustrating part of it. It's not making content. I'm probably I could make 20 videos today. You know what I mean? But there's something weird that's a block for me to monetize my intellectual content. I don't know if that makes sense.
Are you making money the other way?
No. I mean, a little bit, but it's not on purpose. How TikTok will pay you a little bit.
Oh, okay. So.
But I've never made $10 monetizing my content on social media, and I've been at this since 2021.
How many followers do you have?
Right around 3,000.
Okay. First thing you can do you have a link to your digital product in your sales page?
Well, I did, but then something happened with my hosting page. So as of today, the second, no.
Okay.
I need I could have that. Today is Tuesday. I could have that back up pretty quickly.
Yeah. A couple things you can do. First, I would recommend getting that link in there. Another thing that you can do, it's going to take a little bit more effort, but anybody that comments on your content, you can send them a DM and ask them if there's a way that you can help them.
Oh,
Start the conversation.
okay.
Again,
So what do I say if they say, what do I say if they say, yeah, that sounds really cool?
just have a conversation. Be a person. Be a human. There are a bunch of like DM scripts out there, but I don't like them because a lot of people have used them and gone through them. So start off the conversation. Hey, I saw that you commented on my post about whatever. Is there something that I can help you with, or is there a current struggle that you're going through? And just kind of let the conversation flow that way. You don't want to be overly pushy. I would say give them a little bit more advice, and then toward the end of the conversation, say, "Hey, look, I think one of the things that will help you, I put together this guided journal. I think it'll help you get clarity on your direction. It'll give you you'll be able to just write down your feelings. You'll be able to get them all out, and it'll provide you the direction and clarity that you need. If it's okay with you, I'll put a link to my guided journal in down below, or give them directions on how to get it. I would start there.
That's actually a good idea. And then I've got two more questions.
Yep.
One is about you, actually.
Okay.
Like, I've been watching you faithfully since October 24th. And I don't understand why you don't have more people following you and engaging your content, because I've spent big money on these content course coaches, and a lot of times they just kind of skim over the surface, or it's not what it's cracked up to be. So obviously you don't spend any money like that anymore. But what do you think it is that is, like, in your case?
Well, one thing that
maybe you have other platforms, I don't know.
Did you find me through TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a pretty big following over on YouTube.
I thought so, because I saw your placard.
Yeah. I have like 140,000 followers on YouTube. I've got a few thousand. In a Facebook group. I've got 1,000 on school. I've got most of my. So the one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just me, but every time I get over 24,000 followers on TikTok, I magically lose 500. I'll see that it's at 24, boom, 500 gone, then I'm back down. But so I don't really worry about it. But one of the things that I do is I repurpose all of my videos across multiple platforms. Like right now, I am streaming on TikTok, 2 different Facebook pages, on Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I'm streaming on like 6 different places right now. That's why I keep looking around. But anytime I upload one of my videos, a TikTok video, it automatically gets repurposed to Facebook, Pinterest, Blue Sky, Twitter, LinkedIn. And then my videos actually also get saved in a Google Drive. And then they get transcribed, and then they actually get sent out as text posts as well. So like I'm uploading a lot of content, but like I'm not manually doing a lot of that work.
I see. So that makes me ask my second question. And I really have thought about YouTube. Like, how do you know which platform to really begin your best efforts on?
The easy answer is wherever you spend most of your time.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that you could do, I don't know if you tried this, and I think we talked about this a year ago, is start finding videos that are also in your niche and make video replies to the questions that people are asking there. How many followers did you say you have?
Close to 3,000.
Okay. So start making video replies in the comment section. Another thing that you can do is you can do what's called you can do video green screens. And so and I'll do those occasionally, 2, 4, 5. And with the video green screen, I take the first 5 to 7 seconds of a viral video that's already in my niche. I'll play the first 5 to 7 seconds, and then I spend the next minute or so adding in my input. And the reason why this works, especially on TikTok, is the first 5 to 7 seconds have shown TikTok that it works. And these social media platforms, YouTube's the same way. They want to keep showing content that has already proven to work. And that's why, you notice, like, if you see one viral dance, you'll see 300 viral dances, the exact same dance 300 times. That's kind of the same thing. Remember I talked about it? It's called the piggybacking method, where essentially you are finding a video that's already performed well. You're taking that first 5 to 7 seconds, maybe even a little bit longer, and TikTok is going to push it. But you are adding in your own knowledge, skills, experience, and stories to make it unique. And you can build a following, and some of those people are ultimately going to want to learn more and work with you a little bit more closely.
Okay, that's cool, because I think for a lot of people who are on the cusp or the bubble, where I'm learning that you can be really good at creating content, but not so great at being an entrepreneur and selling that said content. And then you'll put all your energy where you're getting validated. And for me, if I'm trying to create revenue, it is scary to kind of start back at square one. And then, of course, it's, well, now I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure what to do. So it can be a scary jump, not so much what content to create or what niche, what audience to serve, but how to create that bridge between where you are and what you have with where you want to take those things.
The other thing I would recommend too is making sure that you are offering calls to action early in your video and then late.
Oh.
So, you do the hook. Here, I don't like here are 3 cents, but like if you constantly are in a state of anxiety, you might be in a why can't I say it? You might be in an abusive relationship. You maybe add in a sentence or two and you say, hey, look, if you want to learn more about yourself, or if you want to get out of that abusive relationship, I put together a guided journal that will help you realize your feelings and potentially get the help that you need. And then continue on with your story, and then make another call to action or offer at the end. And the extra call to action or offer will be like follow for more, or comment, ask a question, something like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes excellent sense. Yeah, because the last time we spoke, you had encouraged me to just take the ideas that I already had and build. I created a more focused plan, but anyway, I built a guided journal with a fictional story. I thought it was a very good idea because I thought it helped women relate. And I think it's something that I can pull lines and content from in terms of the idea you gave earlier. If then, like if this sounds like you, then you might want to check this out. Or if the holidays create, an especially, toxic time, like if you've ever experienced a holiday being ruined, by your significant other, then you really want to check this guided journal out. It's 30 days to just, kind of help you remain still and like have a game plan. Like, I know this is so good. I believe in the work, and maybe that's why things had to slow down for me actually to build content that I felt confident about. But now it's like, okay, Jennifer, now you've got to do practical things to offer it.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, and I know we're kind of talking about content, but go out and find trending topics and conversations and add in your 2 cents
Okay.
and talk about how you've developed something that can help. Like let's say there's a story out there, and this is going to get kind of dark and morbid here in a second, but let's say there's a story out there where a woman was in an abusive relationship and she realized it too late. Unfortunately, makes the news because she realized it too late. You can take that and then pivot into, hey, I put together this guided journal to help you avoid some of the same mistakes that this this woman made. If you're interested, go here to check it out. Talk about how, um, now remember, people will buy things from you if you save them time, save them money, help them avoid frustration. Make sure that you're framing it that way. If you can help people escape, run away from pain, people will buy it from you.
Oh, that's good. Could you say that one part again? People buy for.
People buy things from you if you save them time, save them money, or help them avoid frustration.
That's good. Because I think there's a following of a lot of women. You're right with the piggybacking idea, the trending topics. I love reading everybody's comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I engage a lot with people's comments because I emotionally feel a connection, to these women. And I feel like a lot of times we're consuming all of this information because we think that's helping us.
I actually have a different opinion. I think that you should stop engaging and make videos instead. Stop making video. Stop, because what happens is when you're commenting, you're helping someone else's algorithm, which is fine. But you're taking ideas and you're writing them down. Just make a video instead. It's the same thing, but instead, so like, and you can even make a video reply to the comment that you want to comment on.
Oh, that was worth like getting up and getting dressed and coming all the way to the office.
I tell people,
that might be the best advice I've heard this little season, because
yeah, I tell everyone, don't comment, make a video, because the video is going to last longer. It shows your expertise, and videos are easier to make because with comments you only have like 140 characters, you're trying to fit it in, and context might get lost. But if you make a video replying to somebody that's in the comment section, they're going to want to learn a little bit more about you. They see that you're an expert, that you've got knowledge, and then that's when they start to know more about you.
Right. Yeah. And I'm feeling more confident in people that relate, and I think that's helping me. Dale, would you suggest, as far as where people can find my content, where would you suggest the best place? I know once before you said, like, 4 or 3 or fewer clicks, like it should be very easy for them to access the digital product.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a site or a website, or should we have got? Yeah.
You can use, if you want, you can just use Gumroad, Gumroad. It's free.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. I think I made a tutorial on YouTube. Let me look. I think I have a Gumroad tutorial on YouTube how to start it. I know I've made one. I don't know.
Is it easy, or is it like a?
Is it easy? Maybe.
What's your name on YouTube?
Alston Godbolt. I'm Alston Godbolt everywhere.
Okay.
And my YouTube channel is linked in the thing here, Gumroad. No, I don't have a video on Gumroad. It doesn't look like. But
why Gumroad though? Why Gumroad?
It's free. You can do it really quickly. It won't cost you any money to start it.
Okay. Yeah, and I know videos about affiliate marketing
Mm-hmm.
and why that's the best plan. But like for other people like me, and I'm not there with affiliate marketing yet. And let's just say I wanted to really make my presence on social media in terms of revenue a higher priority in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
What would your suggestions be if digital products were the route to go? I don't see myself trying to make money from affiliate marketing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that, I mean, I'm not really sure are you asking like what digital product should you create, or I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, yeah, like let's just say if I wanted to be really successful at monetizing content,
Mm-hmm.
would your advice for somebody like me? I'm a coach. I'm an educator. So that part of it is my passion.
Yep.
I think that's the engine that keeps me motivated. That's why I work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
What would your advice be in terms of focusing in how to make money?
So,
what should I drill down on? Just selling guided journals, or just
Well, yeah. So what I would do is I would try and focus on a front end digital product that gets people in the door. How much are you selling your guided journal for?
Let's see.
Because just because you're selling something on the front end, that's not the entire business. That's just to get people in the door. The money is made on the back end. What you could do, remember I did live workshops?
Yeah.
If you don't want to do guided journals, you could start off with live workshops.
Well, because this is what I wrote, and this is what ChatGPT helped me with.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've been working on since this summer.
Yep.
It's the digital products. These range anywhere from $25 to $49, and then I've got courses that are $200 to $300.
Mm-hmm.
My big end game is retreats.
Okay.
Digital retreats, live retreats. That's really what I want to do most, which is obviously the biggest ticket thing.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to get into the whole community membership space.
Yep.
And then physical experiences, like those are a little bit less frequent, but those are pretty much the 5 places that I am: the digital products, the courses, the retreats, and then the memberships.
Yeah, that's a good plan. The only thing that I would say with your digital product, I would price it a little bit more as an impulse buy. Price it less than $17. I've had the most success. I've got a number of digital products I sell for $5.
Okay.
Now again, the whole business isn't built on this $5 digital product.
Sure.
What I did is I had the $5 digital product to get them in the door. Then I had, I think, like a $10, $15 order bump that they could add on to their $5. So it went from $5 to $15. I also had an upsell that people would only see after they bought initially. And that was, I don't remember how much that was. But other things that you can do is you can put affiliate links inside of your first digital product that will add additional revenue streams. But then, you start selling the other stuff too. You can start selling if you have a course or workshop or the membership on the back end.
Okay. How do you think courses, especially now, how do you think courses are performing?
They perform the same way that they've always performed. The key is to have a community component to it. Right? So you have a course and then you have like a free community where people can ask questions and get help. And you can ultimately have a built-in base where you're offering them more. Courses have always worked. I think one of the things is people believe that, first of all, ChatGPT, you'll only get out of it what you put into it. If you ask bad questions in ChatGPT, you're going to get bad answers and won't help. Most of the world does not know about ChatGPT, and even fewer people know how to use it correctly. And if you use it incorrectly, it's just going to leave you more frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say, and the other thing too is, because you're creating content, people know, like, and trust you from your content, and they're going to feel comfortable buying the course from you. So courses still work. Courses will always work. The other issue that you sometimes run into with AI is the information is a little bit delayed and oftentimes incorrect. The biggest thing when it comes to courses is incorporating your personal knowledge, skills, and experience. That's what really separates you from AI. And a course will work out very well when you're saying, hey, I discovered this method based on my own failures or based on my own successes. And people find that valuable. And you can't get that yet from AI.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree. That is so true. That what you get out of it, what you put in. Because what I've been playing around with is fiction. I'm not the best fiction writer, and so like I am realizing in my work on a lot of levels that storytelling works wonderfully. Yep. People like short stories. They like feel good stories. They like stories where they see themselves as the main character. So I've been putting in some great stories that kind of guide a purpose for doing this journal, right? There was a woman who was abused. She didn't end up leaving her emotional abusive marriage. She stayed in it. She became this, entrepreneur and all the things. I think one thing I didn't realize until something you just said was that a lot of people don't use ChatGPT. And so sometimes I think of my ideal client like me. Like, honestly, I'll think to myself, why would I buy a course? I can just go buy that book. I could just go watch a free video on that. I can, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's kind of like if you don't eat at a restaurant, but you sell steaks, you know what I'm saying? I think there's a huge gap between what I don't understand about my ideal client.
Yeah. Why would you buy a course?
Why would I buy a course? Well, if I can be totally honest right now, it would be to help me with the problem that I don't know how to do.
And chances are that's why your ideal client would buy the course. You are your.
And I get that. I do. I get that part.
You are your ideal client, right? Usually, in most instances. And so you should know your objections. You should have a pretty good idea of what people are thinking. And but you've got to remember is we're not just showing up and selling a course. We're selling a DIY product first to build trust and build a connection. And when you build trust, you build that connection, you show that you can actually help people. It says, oh, he or she is giving away this much value for free. What are they including behind this paywall wall? What are they including in this course? And that also helps too.
That's actually good. Because knowing my objections are usually really, really simple. Like that is not coming close to the problem I have, so not interested. Or that's too many clicks. You lost me when the hyperlink was down. I'm out. Then the other thing you said was made me think of like, well, when I do buy, why do I buy it? It's simple. You hit the nail on the head. You didn't use too much. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if it solves my problem and you communicate that concisely, game over. I'm all in. What's the price? And I want to do that. I want to offer that. And I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I guess that's why I jumped on the call. Here's the
thing. You're there, and you're never going to feel like you're there. You're never going to feel like you're ready. There's always going to be something. Oh, I'm not ready yet. I haven't done something. You need to just jump in the pool and figure out how to swim while you're in the pool. That's what a lot of this is. You jump in and you say, hey, I'm in the water. I might as well learn how to swim. Have you ever seen the movie Hitch with Will
No.
Smith? You've never seen that movie?
No, I know which one you're talking about.
He says at the very end, he says something to the effect of, love is just jumping off a building and hoping that you'll learn how to fly on the way down. It's kind of the same thing with online business. While there's roadmaps and blueprints, you're going to learn much more from just jumping in and saying, I don't care if I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't care if I feel like I'm an imposter. I don't care about any of those other things going on. I am just going to do it, and I'm going to build my confidence through small wins.
Okay.
I am going to I'm going to be excited about 10 people that went to my sales page, because yesterday I only had 3. That shows that something is working. But from my experience, you're ready, you're there. It's just a lot of it is just getting out of your own way.
Yeah, and I agree with that totally. And I told you before when I was working with you that, typically I can figure out how to get something cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I've been an entrepreneur in different capacities really my whole life since I was 10 years old.
Yep.
And this is the mountain. This is like my little frontier that I haven't yet kind of conquered or even entered because of God knows whatever reason, right?
So
and you're right. It's kind of like Jennifer, you've planned, you have enough on your laptop to be a multi-millionaire by now. There's enough content there. You just got to freaking sell it and put it out there.
So you've been an entrepreneur since you were 10. What's worked for you when you were 10 and 20 and 30?
Well, one, like you said, just doing it, because I had silly ideas. In fact, I was thinking about this the other day. Back in the day, there were certain candies that were popular. Now laters, whatever the candies were.
Yep.
And after Christmas, my mom had these old-fashioned candies. And they didn't even taste good to me. They were just hard candies, I think, from her childhood.
Yep.
Anyway, I would take them to school and I would sell them. And, the kids would eat them. I don't think because they were good. I think because, the way I talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about that the other day. And I was like, as time went on, I realized, that I could talk a good game and get people excited about whatever it was I had, even if it was hard candy when that wasn't like a, thing. And so I'm like, Jennifer, you got to go back to using what you know how to do.
Yeah, I would say whatever your skill is offline, it's the same online. When we get online for whatever reason, we think that we've got to be a different person. We've got to attach a different personality. We've got to be something we're not. But in reality, we're just an extension, and we're talking to many more people. Before we got on the internet, we would talk one-to-one. We'd have one-to-one communication. Now we're having one-to-many conversations, and it should be the same thing. Still talk to one person at a time. Still say you and we, and us.
Mm-hmm.
You're still having that conversation. It might just be shifting your, like I said, I think you're ready. You have to not care about being ready, because you're going to learn more by just doing it than trying to get ready to do it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And I think the part that I struggle with is executing, like, the details, the logistics of, learning more about Gumroad. Like, sometimes just getting so stumped with a technological issue will cost me weeks. And then I'll get distracted, and then I'll have someone that I pay to help, and then that situation won't work out. So I think my biggest hurdle right now is just technological and logistical challenges.
Okay, let's break it down one step at a time. What's the first speed bump you've run into today?
business?
With anything.
Oh.
So like.
I needed a specific handout, and something was wrong with the printer at work today.
Okay.
And so I couldn't print it out.
Okay. For your business, what's the like with Gumroad? There's a million tutorials on YouTube.
Okay.
There's a million tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch one, implement, move on. You should be able to have a good understanding of how to use Gumroad in like 20 minutes. It should not take you a day. And I say this all the time. The hardest, a lot of people will get hung up on something technological, and I'll say, you know what? If your boss said you needed to learn how to make TikTok videos in 2 days or else you're going to be fired, you would figure it out in a day and a half to make sure you aren't fired. And I think it's the same way. I think that you probably have a lot on your plate, but I would focus on giving myself deadlines. Okay, I'm going to learn this in 20 minutes. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I need to know the bare minimum to move on to the next thing. You don't have to be an expert in Gumroad, right? You just need to get to the next step. And the next step for Gumroad is to create an account, create a sales page, connect your digital product, to Gumroad, and move on to the next thing. You don't have to learn the ins and outs. You don't need to read. You should read the terms of service. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go to that tool, learn exactly what you need to learn, and move on. You'll figure out the rest later.
That's valid. Yeah, if my boss said do it, I'd do it. And as a matter of fact, I did figure out how to get the computer linked to my laptop, or the printer linked to my laptop, and I did. I figured it out, and I had 5 minutes to spare, but I made sure I got it done. I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That deadline is different when it's me. Because, it's like giving myself clear instructions, giving myself clear deadlines, giving myself permission to not know everything about Gumroad, but just enough to, get the product posted. Because I'll tell you, one of the biggest frustrations for a person like me looking to do this is when you failed more than 1 year.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh yeah, you said you were going to do this in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Then my mom got really sick, and that was a valid reason that everything slowed down. And of course, that can, you have all the valid reasons in the world, but here it is 2025, and I still have never sold a digital product. So I'm like, okay, 2 months, I have 2 months before this year is over. And I mean it, Alston. Even if I sold one digital product, that for me would be a win, because I feel like once I implement it, once I do it once, it's game over. It's just that first initial doing it.
Yep. And you might have heard me say this before, but making money online is hard, not because it's hard, it's because you've never done it before. But once you make your first dollar online, it's like, okay, making my first dollar is easy. And then the next level, $1,000. That's hard because you've never done it before. I would recommend that, and someone said this over on YouTube. Thai Film said, done is better than perfect. I echo that 1,000%. Just get the bare minimum done. You can always come back and upgrade and improve and have versions 2, 3, and 4. In fact, I like to use the example of Apple. This Apple iPhone I'm talking to you on. When I first opened my Apple iPhone, I had to update it. And the reason why I had to update it is because it wasn't perfect. They will send out the minimum viable product to us and let the consumers tell us how to improve it, or tell them how to improve it. And you should be the same way. Get the minimum viable product out into the world, and then worry about a version 2, 3, 4 later. Learn the minimum thing that you need to learn about Gumroad so that you can move on to the next step.
That's actually really, really good. I think that's my second favorite insight you shared. Because like my professional side of my brain says, well, you should have at least enough of an understanding in case of blah 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 blah. Instead of the basic iPhone comes out and that's where we start.
Yep.
You just do the minimum to get going. It's like it's like permission to just do a much smaller effort.
Because you know what, and you'll never, and what's really crazy about it is like your minimum viable product, it's MVP, might be great, but nobody will know that because you're still harping on it. You're still perfecting it. You get that, you get that thing out there to the world and let the world decide if it's good or not. That's your only goal, is to get your thing out into the world and let the world decide. It's not for you to decide if it's good or not. It's not for you to decide if it's finished or not. Get it done, or get it 75% done. Get it out into the world, and then let the world decide. Like I said, with the iPhone, with all of this stuff I've got, my computer updates every year, major update, because it's not finished. It's not perfect. Apple doesn't worry about being perfect. Neither should you. This TikTok, they update TikTok every 3 weeks. They're always changing and fine tuning and refining the algorithm. It wasn't perfect when it launched. The original TikTok is very different than what we're using right now.
Right, that makes sense.
And you should have that same approach. If it's good enough for iPhone and TikTok to just improve over time, it's good enough for you. You can do it too. No one's gonna bash you for getting your product out there. So learn.
I think that's what it kind of boiled down to. That you just hit it on the nail head. It's like maybe that's been the bigger block. Like I'm waiting for the minimum viable product to be the MVP, as in maximum. Like the finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because that's the confidence booster. Like if you come to the event with the best iPhone, well then you feel confident because you got the very best. Versus coming with a prototype that needs feedback and needs, But at this point, like I am so ready to see a digital product sell. To wake up in the morning and see, $7, $17, or $5. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would mean I broke the little ceiling that I've been putting up for myself, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, what I'm going to tell you to do is, when we get off this call, because I gotta run in a couple minutes here. When we get off the call, learn only what you need to know about Gumroad, and then implement. Okay, we've got the sales page done. Now I need to put a link to my sales page in my bio. Okay, great. Now what you can do is you can go back and look at the people that have reached out to you, look at the people that have commented, and now you can start building one-on-one relationships. Okay, reach out to them and say, hey, I see that you commented. I'm just now getting to your comment. How can I help you? How can I assist you? I think framing it, how can I help you, or how can I assist you, is always better than do you have any questions? Because if you say, hey, do you have any questions? People say no. But if you frame it like, how can I assist you? They start talking about all of their problems, and then you offer a solution for one and say, hey, look, I think you might benefit from my digital product, my journal, my guided journal. I've given my guided journal to 10 people, and this is what they said was most valuable. And you, before you know it, you might get a couple people that way.
Okay. All right. Well, this was like perfectly timed because I needed to focus my own work, because I think I default by taking care of everybody else. Like, let me help you, because I can't help myself in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm clearly and very aware of. But at least today you've given me minimum steps. Jennifer, your job is not to gauge whether or not it's it's good. Your job is just to put it out there.
Yeah.
Your job today is just, and I can clearly figure out Gumroad. I'm looking at it now. It doesn't look that, you know what I mean? It's pretty straightforward. And so I think a win today would just simply be to just do it. Don't overthink it. Just do it on a very simple scale so that it's done.
Yes.
One product. That's it. Just to put it out there.
Yeah.
And then I'll make a video and I will tag it. You have my word. Today is Tuesday. Give me until Thursday. That's my goal. I travel this week, and then I think this is a pretty simple goal to give myself, and I'll tag you in my video when I'm saying, hey guys, you know, did something different today.
Thai Films Media says, tell Jennifer to put her tag in the comments. She's on TikTok right now, so she won't see it. Thai Films. But yeah, I will see if I can get that to them. I don't know if it's a guy or girl, so I'll get it to them. But yeah,
Okay.
Baby steps.
Well, this is my lunch break, and so I've only got a few more minutes. But
Okay.
Austin, I can't tell you thank you enough. I think when I become like a super successful person in this space, I promise you have my word. All credit where credit is most deserved. I cannot thank you enough, sincerely.
Hey, happy to help. Good luck. Hey, and reach out if you need more help. Okay, just send me a message.
Okay, I will.
All
right, you take care, and thank you so much. I can't think of the person's name that you just mentioned, but I am sincerely gonna get to work here, and then just see where this takes me.
All right, take care, and we'll talk soon.
Perfect. All the best.
Bye. All right, so I'm gonna end the live. I am going to can't post messages some channels. Okay, so let me see here. Come on. I'll get rid of that. Gregory is a guy. Okay, it doesn't. Sorry, Gregory. It just says the name of your channel. It doesn't say your thing here. Let me. I'm going to tag her TikTok account real quick. Let me see. Custom name. Hey, I didn't know you could do custom names in TikTok. So I'm going to. This is her name over on TikTok. If you are interested. It's Dream Developer. So if you want to, she's got 2,700 followers. If you want to follow her, actually, why don't I just? All right, so we'll show that. Let me hide it. I want to hide that. Best viewers, right? Let me go to. Let me paste this in, and I'm actually going to put a link to her TikTok account. So yeah, this is her link. That should take you right over there. Anyway, yeah, I've been on for an hour and a half, which is a long time for me. But yeah, thanks for the encouragement. I appreciate it. And I think it's like you said, you don't have to be perfect. Because we don't even know what perfection is. Showing myself today. We don't know what perfect is. We assume we know what perfect is, but the only people that know what perfect are the people that are buyers, our consumers, our fans, our followers. They know what perfect is. And if they're following you, they assume that you have they have elevated you in status. So oftentimes we look at our imperfections, our failures, our shortcomings, but other people are seeing not necessarily perfection. They're seeing the positives, and we oftentimes will look at the negatives. Anyway, I was gonna make a couple of videos, but I'm probably gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap instead. And you know what? I'm gonna actually probably clip that part, and I'm gonna post it. Because I think that's really powerful. People oftentimes, I got to make sure I clip that part. we see our perfections, but our followers, our friends, our families oftentimes see the good in us, and that's where we struggle. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hour and a half. It is 12 o'clock. Like, follow, subscribe, share. I should actually put a link to my main YouTube channel. Maybe that would be a smart thing to do. This is my main YouTube channel. We'll link it there. And I normally don't go live on my main YouTube channel, except for Mondays and Fridays. I usually go live. I'm supposed to. I have told myself that I'm supposed to go live every day, but I don't. I didn't go live yesterday. The goal is to go live every single day. I want to go live every single day because it's a better way to connect with the audience. It's there's a difference between live speaking and recorded speaking. It's a skill, right? Live speaking, public speaking live is a skill that I want to perfect. Telling stories live is a skill that I want to perfect. And so the goal is to go live every day. Also, it's supposed to help TikTok's algorithm if you go live every day. And anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and log off now. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys, and commenting and all of that good stuff.